Hello, Commanders, and welcome to the 160 Survive the Horde here in Fortnite Save the World. In today's video, I would like to show you how to solo Challenge 3 of this limited time mode. So let's go ahead and begin, and I will share with you my hero loadout. It will be a base Kyle build, and absolutely and without question, we will have the slow field and the supply drop. So let's go ahead and take a look at our first potential objective. And it is an absolute pleasure, my friends, to have you out with us today.
Everyone we can before the break in the storm closes. Pin the bases, survive the husk attacks, and we'll get you home as soon as we can. Don't forget, you can't harvest this far out, so keep watch for supply drops.
Now, I will be out here through the season to go ahead and pass along my tips, tricks, and recommendations overall when it comes to Survive the Horde. I do have a playlist available for you here on my YouTube page. That link is in the description below. It will include all of the Survive the Horde content, to include the modifiers and all challenges. Also, we'll be live streaming me through the season to go ahead and help you out with your own journey as well, if need be. So if we are live, stop in, say hello, see if we can help you out. All right, so let's go ahead and begin with metal, and then let me get my traps as always together. Alright, I'm going to go with the heels attached wall spikes on the insides of the walls. On top. And then we've got the increased build health on the outside. I'm going to be working on getting everything tier 3 to include our top section right here before we place that base. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and get some additional traps out. And then, of course, we have our slow field early on. Don't be in a hurry. When you first start, not a big deal. You have plenty of time. And then we will go with these electric fields to shut it on down here. Just like this here. And then as soon as they clear, we can go ahead and get some healing going. And then, of course, I do want to get the base down. I'm kind of waiting right here for this. Some people forget to get that little section there taken care of. I don't want that to happen to you. Because believe it or not, they will try to target it. All right, let's go ahead and clear this out just a bit with our bull rush. And then now we have that base down. We should be golden. Now, let's go ahead and get 4 of our healing pads. I want to get like 12 anti-airs, and then we'll start working the wall darts onto the build as well. Clear this floor section out here. All right, let's get with these darts going out. This will really start cleaning it up. I'm going to adjust this arch for a second. You don't need that in there. I want to connect everything for just a moment. All right, let's go ahead and work on clearing the remainder of the area.
Great work! You've got more waves to come, so heal up and prepare.
All right.
Commander, you won't make it out of there without supplies. Thankfully, supply drops are...
Yeah, we'll go this way. And I'll keep this out here. All right, yeah, and then we'll just wrap. If not, I'll open this up here too. And then this comes here. And then I will connect it here. All right, let's go ahead and get supply drops. Initially, we have 2 supply drops in between waves. That is until, and only if, you decide to defend just the one objective, which I do recommend. I do not believe that the little bit in difference of resource that you receive or rewards is really worth the stress and the effort you have to put forth. So you only need one objective in order to have a successful clear. Please be mindful of that.
I know.
But as always, enjoy the game as you wish, my friends. We're just here to try to help. So playstyle's everything in Save the World after all. Alright, so we have a really, really nice start to the base. I'm going to go and get some more darts down now. And then any of the additional traps that we might have, start working on those. Now, I don't need the melee. I'll keep the kit. Usually I have my shotgun assault. I don't really use weapons too much, I'm going to be honest with you. You don't need them if you are, as much as you would think if you are a effective trapper and builder. That's just what it is in the game. And I think most would agree. We say that. But noticing since the update that the controls are sticking a little bit. I don't know if anybody else out there has noticed that, but I have definitely noticed that this season. And then we'll just go ahead and lift this up, because if you connect this section, it'll be better on the base here. All right, let me get all this tiered up just for a minute. I want to get this back section handled. And then we need some dynamos too. Let me just go with dynamos for just a second. Easier this way. All right, I want to run some dynos. All right, then we get our healing traps down. And then I'm going to start out here now with additional part of the lobber shield. And or I guess we'll just call it some of our main build. Usually those 3 traps, you know what I mean, overall. Or 3 tiles, excuse me. It's a bit early for me this morning, I can tell. I apologize. Messing up some of my sentences here today. One thing I do typically is I give it to you guys when we talk about the content. True and unedited. I like to give that authentic feel to it all, so sometimes, especially if I'm having a rough morning, can do that.
You're doing great out there. Keep it up.
All right, so to start the build, I like where we're at. I do want to touch our walls up for just a moment. Just like that. Heal, drop our supply drop. Okay, now next rotation. Eventually we'll build bridges across, but right now I'm just going to use the geysers. that are offered to us. I do recommend them. You probably note there with my loadout, I have more of a hybrid build. That blast from the past in my support team. Hide and fight.
You'll need to destroy the pillars to end the wave.
All right, let me run around here. Now this wave is the key wave, I believe, when you are running, especially solo. You can take your time here. You do not need to be in a rush. Really concentrate on your build. Be meticulous even a bit. There is absolutely zero rush here. Use your Rosie as well. Keep your distance. Find areas where you can, safely take the pillars down. It's actually one of the more challenging ways, believe it or not, if you are not patient with it. It can be challenging. You can get yourself in some heat with it. Usually going to have some takers going. Alright, so I'm going to start right here with it. With our Rosie. And basically, I don't pay attention to takers until they start messing with me. Okay, once they start messing, then we take care of them. Otherwise, it's just sit back, operate the good old Rosie, and keep our distance. Now, typically, without problem, you get 3 of them. But if you have takers going, it is what it is, right? So, all right, let's get our anti-airs down now. This just protects our core, especially for later as we move forward. Your perks are quite important, actually, when it comes to limited time modes, when it comes to your traps. Often overlooked, believe it or not, by many. The brand says Buildtician, but my friends call me Taz, and I want to welcome you out here to, the video. And I really appreciate your support, friends. Thanks for being a part of it with me. And now we're going to start working on our shield here a bit. And on this particular map, and all the maps are kind of a little different, honestly. You need to approach them as such when it comes to your builds. And then everything should just go ahead and connect for you when you're running. Notice here how we're just being patient. Please do that, by the way. Please do not be in a hurry this mode. You are working against yourself if you are not patient with it. It's tough. Just take your time and enjoy the ride. All right, so we got another taker. Now, sometimes it's kind of interesting on the Horde. Different, objectives will present you with, different scenarios, like more takers, for instance, on, some of them, or... So it takes away from the Rosie a bit when you're trying to be... Sometimes you can see here, we can hit and get multiple strikes in the same direction there. And I'm just going to go ahead and keep working now. And I do not leave this way pretty much until my build is right. I'm going to be real with you. Nor should you, friends. Like, truly, do not work against yourself here. There is no rush. That's one thing about Save the World. I say it a lot, especially when I'm live streaming or we're hanging with the community. It's an awful lot of rushing when it comes to this mode. If you take your time, it truly does make a big time difference with many different things in the game. Just like here, for instance. Being smart with the time that you have with it, you know. Okay, now usually you can take this out rosy, but I'm gonna go a different route with it. So we do have our pickaxe where we can swing a bit faster, so that will work good for us. Be aware of your health. And believe it or not, they can't throw back this far. So please be aware of that, friends. They really can. Oh, I'm sorry. I want that. Up here, you want another rotation. You will get hit harder here, too, as you go up in the challenges. All right, so let's get this other layer. I would tell you, always keep yourself about 2 tiles high when it comes to your building structures, over or where you're going to be trapping. Smart move. It keeps it a little safer, especially if you happen to have some propane situations going on, or believe it or not, enemies will stop and target the 1 tiles. Sometimes I've seen like the death bombs will blow things. Like, it's crazy sometimes what they'll do to you at the game. So, all right, friends, let's continue here. We're gonna go ahead and get our extension. Not being nice to us, are they? I'll leave this open, and typically I'll leave this open. That way you have some nice, smooth, and connect it, right? Some nice, smooth areas there to use to your advantage. Slow fill. Plasma pulse. Alright, that looks fantastic. I really like what we're serving. Let's keep moving around here now. Alright, Rosie again. Let's go for some more of our pillars. All right, we're good. All right, so this will wrap down now. And then we're going to go in. And we'll go here. And then it comes down to, you know, how far down you want to take it. Usually I'm going to come down to this level, though. I'd run this all the way to the edge, just in case some flingers want to try to get after you a bit. All right, I'm going to start working this here. Be mindful of our health. The takers are getting cute on us. Perfect. Okay, up here now, I'm going to go ahead and with an extension on the anti-air traps. I like about 3 layers of it, or 3 rows. And this one will go right over here. Well, you have some really nice coverage. Not a bad idea too. If you want, you can actually put them in the front here, you know, as well. I mean, it really comes down to however you want to do it, though. I'm not gonna overdo it or anything, but the play style choice. This is one of those definitely heavy taker waves that you're going to run into. As you guys can see here, it's pretty heavy, unfortunately. So it's kind of delaying us a bit. But we'll take our time, as we just mentioned. Absolutely zero rush here. Actually can use this to our advantage, believe it or not. I'll show you guys what we do there as we work out. They're just getting interested in us right now, friends. All right, and then we just extend up here. Just like this. And then connect all of it. Just like we're showing here. And we'll work our way down. And across. To this point here. Of course, you can just connect it all or whatever, right? But let's teach their own. For sure. Then you got your ceilings here. And then leave yourself an access point out on both sides. All right, and then that should all be good. And you'd be connected then. And then you just come over here, same kind of thing, leave your access point, connect it down to the end, just like we've got here. And then same thing over here. Just connect it one more tile, ceiling, wall. All right. All right, now we'll start working on our pillars a little bit because I feel pretty strong now about what we've got working here. Or good about it, excuse me. Double check your traps because you're going to have some burns out now by this time. Same thing with your darts. Just double check you got everything going. Start adding some more damage to the build now. Again, we have plenty of time here. All right, Dynamo's in. And there we have it. Actually, I wanted it to go with a dart on that side, but that's okay. That wall will go and we'll replace it. Some anti-airs. All right, so final two pylons now. Or pillars, excuse me. I keep calling it pylons, I apologize. I'm just double checking any of the traps now that have burnt maybe a little bit. And we are golden, my friends. This goes down. Build looks clean. Still working on the... Now, you do have some more on it, though, you need to take care of. Sorry, I know that we're working here a little bit, but... yeah, we're not quite done yet. There is still some... areas here to take consideration. But anyway, now you start wrapping this around. And you're going to want to take this out this way. I would at least go to that point. And then we're just going to stand all the way out. And then it all should connect perfectly for you. Just like that. And then this should all connect perfectly for you. Just like that. All right, so that takes care of that entire side now. Again, no rush at all whatsoever. Why are we rushing? Right? Just don't rush, man. Just enjoy the ride, man. Enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it. I put those up in case you run into takers, especially later if you need to come out. And it can be of great benefit to keep yourself safe. Okay, and then we'll build the bridge off that. And or darts as they fall through. And I'm not worried about here right now. That's fine. I know you can see a land bridge that it's not going to hurt anything. When they won't go there. We won't be there later. Alright, so let's go ahead now and find this other pillar. It's hiding out here somewhere. And we're not worried about any traps right now. I just want to be clear on that. No traps right now. Let's just work on the build. You don't need traps right now. Now we're going to take it all the way out. And also in the meantime, you do have your... No, I like to layer like this first, and then let it it'll break down. Okay. Just seal it down for a minute. Now this up here, you do need it. The flingers can come back here and target you, so please be mindful of that. Over here, basically. And you don't have to trap this, but do build it. Just keep yourself protected. All the way to the extension. All right. And that should get you where you need to be on that. Couple tiles. All right, friends. Like the remainder of what we're serving, just seal it down this way, finish it off across the top, and then they absolutely cannot get you any way, shape, or form. We are already preparing for the late game right here with what we're doing. I'm already thinking wave 15. Okay. Let's go see if we can find that little pillar of ours. It's hiding out here somewhere. There it is right there. Alright, so I protect myself with the plasma pulse. Remember, that's not going to do anything for you when it comes to the pillar, but... And there you guys go, okay? So that's everything that we need to really worry about when it comes to builds. And
a supply drop is coming your way. Base B is under attack.
Alright, and then this area over here. Just block it. This area here, I like to block it. Okay. Couple supply drops close for us. That's beautiful. Now we can just start trapping. And trap we will. Alright, so let's start with the electric fields, the tires. Kind of keep back on this row here. Just going to do a little something here. Not only is it a solo here, I'm really trying to, if you can, and if you can pick up the build, it would be of great benefit. So we're kind of taking our, that's why I'm taking so much time, honestly. Because I have people ask about the build. So I want to provide that. Of course, it's going to be different. Techniques are about the same, though, if you can utilize the same techniques. Going to run a stagger pattern here when it comes to our traps.
The base is taking damage. If we don't push them back, this whole base is going to come down. Our first base has just been compromised.
All right, now if that happens,
we have a break in the action.
Again, we're going to defend just the one. So I want you to go ahead here. And we absolutely now will get only one balloon. But before the next one falls, you do need to make sure that you collect it so it doesn't disappear. And then you'll have another one after this when the next base falls. We'll go back now and work on that other build, that section where we were at before. Okay, everything else looks clean and good. All right, out here, start with the darts now. Now out here, you can do whatever. I'm going to bring it in just another layer like this. I think it's cute here. I'll come here.
literally any time.
And the waves will go fast once you get all those traps up. Like fast. Right?
Base.
So just be aware of that. Be ready for it. I just want to make sure we have that final dart in place.
Is down. Only one left.
Alright, so we have one more
We've got a break.
drop coming to us.
And repair what you can. Base A is under attack.
If you take advantage of this loot here, you'll have a lot of extra traps in that. So, and late game ammunition. So if you're struggling for ammo, it's another way to start. Like keep drop your supply drop, for instance, and so on and so forth, right? But you can shoot the balloon down too, by the way. You should. I don't know what I was doing there. I was just kind of like in slow-mo, but again, I'm having a morning. Didn't sleep last night very much. So now we'll start working back. And notice how we're going to work out to in now because I know the core is protected. So.
Prepare for the next wave.
In case you get some takers in there. Okay, so that takes care of all that up there in the pit. I'll worry about, like I said, we'll worry about this later. Now this is a corrosion wave. And when I tell you they're in trouble, my friends, they're in trouble. Like, they are in big trouble right now.
A supply
These
drop
enemies
is
are.
coming your way.
Now it's just, you just trap, man.
The storm has a new
And then if you
target.
notice any holes here, you can just, you know, build up a layer around it and go. I go a little bit lower just to squeeze them a bit. Doesn't matter if they walk out and do their thing. The flingers, they don't walk out there for some, I don't know what it is, but I don't run into a problem with them walking on that. Probably should, but, and we can always do an edit. I'll show you what you would do if you're worried about that at all whatsoever. I don't really get too worried about things too much when it comes to the mode, but I know there are people that do stress, and I get it, right? Be a little nerve-wracking. We try to make it easy as possible. We have our teammates around when we're running together as a community, or just general when I'm doing the content here. Make you feel at ease a little bit if we can. So what I would do out here then, again, now me, honestly, It does drive me nuts to see the potential Lambert. I'm not going to lie to you, right? And I think anybody else that's out there watching, same thing. All you would do is just come in here, right? On the areas where you might be seeing this.
Another wave of storm creeps.
Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll just run some darts here. This is more effective, by the way, so you do want to do this. If you have the time. Now, early on, I just throw it down, but I will come back in here typically like I'm doing. If you ever come watch us hang out, and you'll see me doing it. But... all right. And then I just line this all up here. All right. And then you just come in here literally and throw the thunder on them. You just squeeze them. Darts, see how the darts are all popping around up top of that other layer they were popping off. All right, so I'll just come here now. Like I mentioned, just level this up. All right. Oh. And then everything's good. Then you can just wrap this around. All right. Could connect it all and then just edit. Just want to give you, again, when you're first starting, you don't have like, you know, you don't have all that time. You're just trying to get it up when you talk about the shield, right? So. Okay. And as I mentioned, the waves are going to cruise now. Especially if you work those spawns early like we did. Yeah, they'll be in trouble.
The supply drop is on its way. Base A is under attack.
Yeah, I guess I'll just leave it. It's not hurting anything. The more I look at it, I was just thinking if we get another layer behind us. All right. All right, balloons out to the distance there. Now at this point, we could start building the bridges if we want. Right. Now, because of how I have that shield, I'd probably go something like this and build out like up here. Now we're just going to work across the map. And I'd take myself right up that geyser probably. Or you can just keep building. You have enough building mats by this point where you could just truly take your time with it. This build here compared to some of the other ones, you know, it really comes down to your choice too, which one you're going to defend. This one here is a pretty big area that you have to cover. It's pretty significant.
Watch out for bosses!
You'll notice here too, don't have any weapons yet. Haven't even needed any weapons. Just a little bit on the takers, right? You don't need to be out there shooting, wasting ammo, and save that ammo for the end, man. Don't be using launchers early. None of that stuff. Do not use it early. Truly. Be patient and wait for it. All right, you get to this point, you get the boss out the first time. That's probably the first shot you take. Right about now, just like I'm showing you. Just be patient with it. And my first weapon is usually the plasmatic for the pillars. I will top my ammunitions off. Definitely and without question, really. All right. And at this point, we'll recycle the schematics because we don't need them. And then what I start doing here, get the slow fill down. Plasmatic goes out. And we'll rush him off there for a second. Wave walls can heal. He is a damage pulse. Okay, he phased away from me. Now at this point, I like to use some stone in here in case you have different bosses that will come in at you and try to give you trouble. And you'll notice how he keeps phasing off of us. Okay, let's get some heals attached spikes. So now we're going to work a second layer in here. This is, again, for the end. I'm thinking end game now. Already at 6. We're always thinking ahead, right? Please do as well. And again, you're basically on an elimination wave here, so you can take your time with this boss. You do not have to. You can just keep bull rushing him out if you want. You know the build's going to keep killing. Okay. And then I want 4 zappers. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you are staying off the floor on those last waves.
We have a break in the action.
That's typical where people will go down. They're on the floor too much at the end. Now in team play, you'd want one person, your constructor, on the floor, right? But otherwise... And then what's going to happen is that these walls go now. You have the electric fields above you to protect. Okay. So I'll seal this in. Okay. And then we go. And that's your second layer. And then you just get this. You could put darts in here if you want. You could connect this if you wanted. Like, true, there's all kinds of wonderful things you can do here. Now, another thing I do like is the movement speed Baron. But the problem is you're probably going to get 1 per run for the entire team. Unless you get good... Well, let's say that. If you're on your own solo. Let me say it that way. Shouldn't say for the entire team, but if you're on your own solo, usually it's going to be about 1 that I've been seeing. So just make sure you be mindful of it and you're not wasting a resource. Make sure the person that needs it most, right? Armor Baron is a great tool to have for the newer players if they are struggling. Again, though, the power cells are valuable, especially in this mode. I would not be wasting them. On the legendary options of the Baron. Now you'll see here if the lobbers come and you don't have the traps out, right? Then they're gonna get queued at you, but we're gonna go ahead and throw the thunder now, as I like to say. Okay, next weapon in for me would be the pot shot. And that was just 1 lobber, believe it or not, friends. Right there. That was getting crazy on us. Just 1. Alright, and then we're just going to start working the electric field. And notice how I didn't get the electric fields out too early out here either. That's on purpose now. You don't want to waste your durability on your traps. Back here is fine. You can come back and just hit it. But out in the field, in the core, I don't want to, just get it. Try to wait as long as you can, I guess it would be my opinion, or my recommendation. Down under here is a very nice sneaky spot to get some more damage if you want it.
Impressive work, Commander.
Okay. Throw your dart here. I'll usually go 2 layers with it.
Base A is under attack.
These will be darts around. Do take care of this area. Later on, you'll have pillars that you need to be mindful of. And this would be broadsides if you want, if you didn't upgrade everything, the province. And then the next thing I want to do too is I want to get some tar pits down. All right, but let's work out for just a moment. Let me get some additional traps out. And you see, I'm do double layers in case They busted out for some reason.
I know. It's a nightmare out there. But if anyone can handle it, it's you.
And then if we can, once he's burned, we'll start getting some wooden floor spikes down to start the pattern. But for now, we'll just go tar pits. That's all we need. Okay, here I'm just going to run this here. And this is just in case it breaks through. Then you should 1, 2, and 3, but I'd go ahead and put another one here actually instead. Just doing layers on layers kind of a little bit in case things get broke, smashers get crazy, mini boss you give them a little some structures out here to pound on. You won't be able to do this later though. The bosses will come tear you up here, or the spawns and stuff. They'll get you. I don't believe we're gonna make it to that balloon this time. Be mindful of that. You don't want to be missing an opportunity to get your
We have a moment to breathe between husks.
your supply drops.
The storm has a new target.
All right, let's go out. It's not a waste per se, because we got a good opportunity to trap pretty effectively there. Now we're going to move out into the spawns a little bit more. I'm going to get some tires going probably. Down underneath there. Maybe electric fields, I haven't decided yet. Pretty significant area at the end that you're going to be defending. If you can make it easier by getting that trapped out later. No, about 9. Like, we're going to have pillars now. So I'm going to try to get back for a moment. And then underneath that, there's a section we're going to go. Depending on how high we are now. If we're 3, we'll go tires. If we're 2, we might go electric fields. Bit more durability, bit more damage. When it's all said and done, right?
You'll need to destroy the pillars to end the wave.
Same thing here now again with a pillar wave. There really isn't a big time rush with it. But just for a moment here, I'm going to go ahead and if you do it right, you can go electric fields here. If you're a little high, then you have to go tires, but I mean, both are effective. It's not going to matter one way or the other, to be honest with you. We have the tar pits down. We have the damage down. Definitely want to get the tar pits down before this wave hits. This is all good here. These are going to be your darts. Again, we have layer upon layer of damage going with the build. And then what you do is on those outside edges, you can start extending. I would try these. I don't know how, like, what kind of play you'd get from them, but I'd at least throw them out here. You could throw one here too, but and note how I said that they would lift it, right? That's why we have the extra layer. And out here, we'd go tires. We're going to have to extend that lava shit out here, by the way. That's not deep enough. In fact, I'm going to do that now. That is not out there far enough. They will sit out there and they will lob at you and fling at you over here. It's crazy build when you think about how, you know what I mean? It really is. How far out you need to go with it to prevent lobbers and flingers from getting after you. All right, let me go make sure we got more pillars to get. Let's go take a look. Walk down here on the edge for a moment. Make sure we haven't missed any. There's one here. Here's one here. And then I'll take you over to this other side down over here. Remember I told you there's traps down here would protect you. Sneaky little spot for traps. That guy just got worked. Let's call it what it is. Come on, man. You gotta be kidding me. Alright, we'll just leave it for a block right now. I'll slow him down a little bit right there. Alright, so we're missing one of them somewhere. Let's go see if we can find it. It's gonna be in a sneaky little area somewhere. I have a feeling. There it is, right here. I don't think that was there when we first started. I could be wrong on that, but...
Stay focused, and you'll make it. Base A is under attack.
Alright, so that's pretty much the gist of it. Now it's just you run it. Right? Use the 2 pillar waves to take your time, and first one to build everything, second one to finalize your trapping as we did there. And then once you get to a team environment, and you get the right teammates that buy into a team system, it just is so much easier and so much, it really, really is. But one thing about Save the World is it can humble you. So when you're on cloud 9 and you start cutting corners and overlooking things, the game has a way of humbling you. So I say that often, but I stand by it. Like, it really does.
We came here to fight, which doesn't sound as good when spoken aloud.
That's why I like the game. I've always enjoyed it so much. I'll throw those 2 up there for now. Looks like we got some darts out. Okay, those darts are all doing just fine. They're all popping. And they're still shooting over those edits there. I like to test things like that, make sure it's all working properly. That's probably gonna blow up. But just in case they try to go over there and get cute, though. A lot of death bombs now.
Impressive work, Commander.
Then they will lift the floors, so then we just go back and get everything repaired here for a moment.
Base A is under attack.
Do a few repairs in case they lift this wall. I would roll tires down this wall over your shoulder here. All right, so then what I'll do is I'll get some tires going, and out here on this outside edge, under all these, start running tires. You do need to trap this. Please be mindful of it, because they try to come out here and throw at you, especially at the end. Now this wave will go pretty quick. Okay, he's gone. All right, you have a smoke screen here. So you have that Baron now. I'm going to go ahead and push him back in, let my traps kill him. And then we're going to get all of our upgrades going. We don't even need to put eyes on that one. Just keep pushing him back. Traps work.
I wouldn't trust any other team with a mission this difficult.
All right, let me take a look at power source now.
You'll make it. The storm has a new target.
We're going to get the defender post going now. Nice little boss wave. You saw the boss was easily handled there. Not a big deal. And now we're really going to throw it on him. It's time for the defender play. Okay. So for me, it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one goes here. This one will go here. And he will go right here, standing in place. And then we'll go get the other balloons the rest of the way. You want the last one on 15. That'll get you a power cell. We have missed a couple of waves on the pillars because I was... Or after the pillars because we were working on that trapping a little bit more than typical, but that's okay. This is a good test wave because you'll see flingers, so they'll find the little secret areas. If you've missed anywhere where you're trapping, they'll find it. And then I always check. Okay, we're still good. Just want to double check, you don't get...
Smasher spotted!
Sounds like a nice little smasher wave again.
Smasher!
Bull rush him.
We have a moment to breathe between husks.
Now they're going to really start moving the waves well. So.
Base A is under attack.
Really, a couple of the major ways I see people lose is too much ammo early on, especially your energy and explosive ammo. You tend to need that later on. And struggling with the build at the end. They didn't take time to get the build ready. Kind of catches up on people, so. Okay, so I'm going to take an opportunity here to believe in the build. That's another thing. You got to believe in your build and be able to take eyes off of it. Let's go down and double check all of our builds and traps and all this.
More husks incoming. You'll need to destroy the pillars to end the wave.
Okay. Okay, you got 28 pillars here now. Definitely double check all your electric fields under here. Keep yourself protected. Make sure he is not a damage pulser. And this is why I put those boxes back there. Just let him keep going. I'm going to keep him in here. I'm going to get him to aggro on me, hopefully. And if he tries to get out, I'll send him back in. Best weapon in all of Save the World, the slow field. Just keep working it. Zapper's hitting. Alright, he gone.
Tinker spotted!
Alright, so again, only using the ammo on the bosses for the most part. Let's go see where that balloon's at now. Alright, it's all the way across the map here. I will go get the balloon before I finish the pillars. Pillars are too easy to finish here with that plasmatic. Definitely use the plasmatic for the pillars. Game-changing schematic for those. So in this season alone, it's worth vouchering, in my opinion, if you do not have a copy of it. 4 pillars, if you like this mode, that is, right? Not as effective as it once was when it comes to damage, I'll tell you. I like the cycle. I'll throw a shot like you saw there. Not really sure the other 6 perks are working on it still either. Other than the slow perk. I know that. It's something to take consideration. Got to test. Okay. Probably aren't going to hear the defender shoot much right now because he doesn't need to shoot right now. All right, next one down.
Tinker! Enemy down!
Okay, let's get him standing in place with standing in place 6 perk that I do recommend on the weapon. That's how you do it. Make sure you're anchored here so if they start lobbing at the end, they find an opening on you. And then we're just going to start preparing for the end game now. Just make sure things are getting upgraded and all right, let's go get some pillars. Start working on these now. Check your traps, you know what I mean? Here's an opportunity to get some traps in. It's like the darts have burnt as well. So I would trap this for the end. They're not letting me get over there, darn it. They're giving me a hard time. So we'll keep high ground here for a minute. Definitely want to stay off the ground where we can't get, so we don't get hurt. Till you need to, right? And then again, we'll start getting our traps down here. Again, we're missing traps. So now we're planning again for 15 here. Just in case anybody gets cute here. Oh, I like a tire right here off my shoulder. Okay, that all looks clean and good. Let's get everything upgraded. Let's go work the other area now. All right, so we will need to trap this out. And then our other power cell will come on 15. And we'll grab that and we'll throw the other defender down at the end. Again, I just need to make sure we got the traps going here a bit. You don't want to overlook that. I like to put healing pads throughout a little bit in different areas. They're not spawning. Okay. Oh, I've got 3 pillars to go now. And we're trapped up and we're looking strong with the traps. Definitely something I like to see here. That's just a backup trap in case that ceiling were to go. Let's go back down and around this way, see if any respawned in this area. Sometimes they'll show back up in areas where you didn't see them before. Okay, nothing here. Let's work our way around the backside this way. We have 3 pillars to go. And we are not seeing them right now.
Tanker!
Oh, you're there. All right, let's go ahead and top our ammo off again.
The storm has a new target.
Drop our supply drop. I see our balloon way out there. So this defense for me is usually the longest one. It's just meticulous a bit, all the different areas. I have others that I prefer, but do point or note though how little shooting we've had to do though. Just on the bosses, right? An occasional taker when they were hurting us. You know, otherwise the weapons were for the pillars and the bosses, and that's kind of what you want. Again, that's where most teams will, like when we run a team environment, I don't give usually you want one cook in the kitchen, right? You want someone building and trapping and crafting for the team so we know what we have at all times and everybody's working together. And but I don't give the explosive weapons and the you know, the plasmatics, pot shots, things like that early, because they will use all that ammo. All right, and your teammates should not be crafting those if you guys have that in place either, right? They should put the team for themselves. And I'll roll them into the wall there on purpose. Bring them in, let them maybe hit that, and I'm going to run these like this. Okay, so let's go in for our final traps. Occasional smasher too if you can, but wait, right? Just use your plasmatic, use your bull rush, right? You don't need to shoot that guy, man, with any weapons. Let your traps work.
Taker! Smasher!
Dead.
Enemies down!
You're doing great out there.
All right,
Keep it up.
15. Be ready to rock. Get that bear in your hand and go get that power cell at the
Base
end.
is under attack.
There it is. I got eyes on it. They don't show it on the map sometimes either, as you just saw early on. Right, don't take fall damage, of course. That'd be something. Take your fall damage on 15. It can happen. It can absolutely happen. All right, just for a second before I go back into the heat, I'll stand on this pad. It's going to be darts and electric fields mainly at this point. And then any tar pits I can make. You don't really deal with propane too much in the anti-airs for projectiles anyway, right? So,
The extraction team has dislodged themselves from a
all right,
fallen
and then
tree
craft your
on the-
last pot shot, or your last obliterator, excuse me. All right, and then this guy will go in place. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stay up on this level up here and believe in the build. And then when we need to trap, we come down. All right, You can shoot up there, though. And you're just replacing over and over again without question. It just is what it is. You're going to keep replacing, you know, traps when they throw them down. You just keep replacing. They blow up, we replace them. All right, let's see what we got. We got vampiric acid pools.
Smasher. Blingers. Smasher spotted. Tinker spotted. Smasher. Slinger. Smasher spotted.
All right, get those tar pits back out.
Blinger spotted. Smasher. Hush. Blinger. Smasher spotted. Tinker spotted.
Remember, smashers can't hurt you, so you don't even need to worry about them. That taker can hurt you, though.
Smasher. Blinger. Smasher spotted.
Now I'm working the floor a bit, but
Smasher.
you got 21 seconds till bingo.
Tinker.
Get your patterns back up and your pathing. And that's your level 3.